solve the opioid problem in Campbell County, Tennessee. So thank you everyone for coming. I'm going to send a sign-in sheet around if everybody will put their name and their email, their phone number on it, so we can know who's here tonight. But Commissioner Bruce led the effort to bring this meeting to fruition, and there are lots of concerned folks here. We're upstairs because our air conditioner went out downstairs. We have our audio system downstairs. We don't have it up here. And so that's why I'm talking like you're on the back seat back there. So we've got 2 more meetings to go tonight. Is the beer board going to meet, Cliff, or is that just?
I assume, I didn't know about it right now.
Okay. Were there any other beer board issues besides that one? Okay.
None I know of.
So we've got 45 minutes if we don't have beer board issues to discuss it, but there are statutory committees that the Tennessee Code identifies in law that counties must have. This is an ad hoc. It is not mandated by Tennessee Code, so it doesn't really have a budget line with it unless the county commission decides to put one with it. But we're here to begin a discussion and take in all perspectives, but we don't have a quorum. But Commissioner Bruce?
Mr. Chairman, look, I want this open to everyone. So if there's anyone here that would like to serve on this committee, please come and sit with us.
Get up as
Come
close
on,
as you
hey,
can.
listen, the reason I asked for this to be formed is to educate the commissioners. You know, we were talking about, you know, the mayor had come to us and asked for some monies to work with Chet and everything. And then we got to talking to the judges. And Judge Sexton had asked, you know, that had, you know, put together some type of committee. And then we could all work together in a common goal. Not just, you know, a group over here, a group over there, everybody working in the same direction. So please, come and sit with us. Hey, I swear I took a bath.
I may look like I did.
But we can have a good discussion tonight.
Yes.
And when we get a quorum, we can seat a chair, vice chair, and go from there. But I think it's important to begin the discussion. So
Can we go around the table now?
I think that would be most beneficial if everybody could introduce yourself and introduce the work that you're doing in this effort. So, Commissioner Colmeyer, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, I'm Bud Colmeyer, Commission, 2nd District. Was, you know, a teacher for many years. One is this, and the more you know it. We're good, and good to see everybody, and hope this will do extremely well. Thank you.
I'm Deborah Verne. I'm a nurse practitioner, and like many of you all, this opioid issue has affected my family and a lot of people that I love. And I just want to do my part and do what I can.
I'm Crystal Husky. I'm a journalist around here, and have written quite a bit on the opioid epidemic and how it affects the area. I'd just like to help.
Well, I'm Amy Caldwell, and I've been working with Celebrate Recovery for the past 15 years in Campbell County, and also with the Shepherd's Home. And also now I've joined with Connections to Recovery, which is something we all are beginning to learn about, and I'm deeply passionate about this particular subject.
And I'm Tanya McCall, and I work with Annie Margaret. I'm the president of the board for Connections to Recovery. And we're looking to start a ministry for pregnant women in addiction.
And I'm Carol McLean. I work with them in Connections to Recovery. I do mentor addicts. I'm going to start teaching computer skills to the men in Bush Tech who are in through the drug court. So I'm interested. I had a brother who died from alcoholism, so I am very concerned about the drug problem here.
So you work with Tommy?
I will be, but just volunteer with Stacy Bosch.
I'm Johnny Bruce, Commissioner in the 4th District. I am just newly retired from the school system. Matter of fact, Friday was my last day, so.
The teacher's life.
It
I
was.
know.
But, you know, when EL brought this to our attention and everything, you know, we knew there was a problem. And once I got to talking to other people, it's a very serious problem in Campbell County. And that's where, you know, getting you people here, getting the judges involved, and being able to help these people. So, and that's my goal.
Well, I'm Cliff Jennings, and I'm short-lived, but if there's anything we can do to help you in the next couple of months that I'll be serving, we'll certainly be glad to assist you in any way we can.
I'm Nancy Thompson. I'm on the board with Connections to Recovery, work with the Shepherd's Home. Annie Margaret's got us involved in a lot of things related to recovery, but it's a passion for us to help with the crisis in any way that we can.
My name is Scott Stanfield. I'm County Commissioner of 3rd District. I think this program is something that we should have done a long time ago, but since, I mean, if anyone here in this courtroom that this epidemic has not touched their family, then you've been blessed beyond any monetary means whatsoever. I mean, it is not only affecting children, parents. I mean, we're going to have to find a solution because it's like a snowball. It's still rolling downhill and it's getting bigger and bigger. So anything I can do or what the commission can do, we'll be glad to help. I'm glad we're finally starting something.
I'm Robert Higginbotham, County Commissioner, 1st District. I'm here to help put this county on a solid foundation.
I'm Dwayne Kitts, County Commissioner in the 2nd District, and also a mail carrier, and I've seen this epidemic in our communities, and I see it every day. Families affected, and like Scott said, I think all of our families affected in some way. Just here to serve and help on the committee. Who's that? Boomer, are you on it, or?
No, I'm just filming, y'all.
Okay.
Jill?
I'm not really going to sit on the committee, but I'm here for support. And I do have a packet one of the commissioners might have to share. And we do a lot of data collection through the health department in the state of Tennessee. So I handed those out Friday, but the commissioners might be interested in the numbers. And the second sheet is numbers for Campbell County, what it looks like, and the incident rates and how high it's gotten.
Perfect. Sir?
I'm Michael Call, Tanya's husband. I'm here with the group that has worked with Shepherd's Home. I worked there in the maintenance and repair position at one time, and so I'm here to support them.
Patrick?
Well, I'm here to cover the meeting, but I'm also an elected official in the city of Caroline on the council down there. So anything I can do to help this particular, I mean, just let me know. I guess if nothing else, I'll be y'all's careful representative.
Isaac?
Well,
You're not here necessarily on this issue, but why don't you introduce yourself and tell folks what problem you're working on?
I'm Isaac Jones, and I'm working with the county commission to help fight against bullying. And really, this is bullying starts this drug. It helps with the.
It can be related.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
He does, he did.
So we're keeping an eye on that too, so we've got that project going. And Isaac's going on, coming to Lone Shun Park for our August back to school movie night, and that's gonna be our Stop Bullying movie night at Lone Shun Park. So he's leading an effort, and we're thinking we're gonna do a fundraiser and get some t-shirts out, and get some elevated awareness for that problem too. So,
We've asked Isaac here tonight to help us, we were looking at designing a T-shirt, the anti-bullying, but also in memory of School Board Member Mike Gordon.
Annie, why don't you tell us about what we did Friday and Saturday over at First Baptist?
Would you think I wasn't starting my duty if I was the president, because she is.
That'd be fine. Because we had a remarkable conference across the street at First Baptist, and we talked a little bit about technology at the last commission workshop and how it can impact things, and there's some wonderful technology afoot. So, Tanya, I'll turn that over to you.
Well, we had an informational and educational meeting at the First Baptist Church of Jacksboro, all day Friday and half day Saturday. And Michelle was one of our speakers that we had come in and just educate us about what's happening in Campbell County with drugs. Cliff Branham from Springs of Life was also there and talked about the men's program up in Jellicoe, and we had other speakers there as well. And everything was educational, statistical, there was no, it wasn't opinions, it was just facts. And we also had a special guest speaker, Dr. Giles, who is from Europe, actually. He's from Southampton in the UK. And he has a device that will detox people in a period of 7 days. And so we were learning about that device as well and the implications that it could have on the opioid epidemic. So it's quite a good meeting. E.L. Morton attended and the full day, and we had a nice lunch and treated everybody well, and I think everybody felt like it was a good meeting. So from there, we're going to see what we need to do moving forward.
One of the things that, working in the jail and seeing the women go out at night to be dismissed, and then would be back in before you could almost leave the jail, prompted us to realize that there was nowhere for them to go. That stimulated discussion on the Shepherd's Home, and that's how that began. And so, there's been a lot of things improved, but there's so much more.
And we'd identified the issue in our litter control program. Maybe last month we were talking about Glenn Monday is our only officer now, and he can only take male inmates out to work. And so we've talked about going back to a second officer in that program, and I'm not sure we touched that the other night in the budget or not, but we think we need a female officer because the women in our jail cannot earn good time if they don't go out and do community service. And so we know that the whole female population is not able to go outside and serve. So there's an opportunity there. We know that that reduces recidivism, among other things. And we've also talked with the East Tennessee Development District about the name of the grant is Workhouse Grant. There's not a physical house here, but in some places there is workspace within the Justice Center for men and women to go and actually conduct work and earn wages. And there is a concept that we're working with the Development District and a New Beginnings to actually go off-site into the community, supervise, and allow men and women to earn, to pay things like restitution, but also have some savings so the day they step out, they have an opportunity to provide for their own housing and provide for their own food, and begin a life with a living wage, or at least some savings to begin to work their way into a living wage. And so that's something this commission is looking at through the budget cycle. How many more funds do we have left, Johnny?
Basically, we just did the school budget's last one we have left, but in saying that, we can open any budget up.
Commissioner Bruce is the chair of our Budget and Finance Committee as well, and so, which is a committee of the whole anyway. So But that's something we can take back before we actually pass a budget. Consider.
Ladies, got a question. I know you work with the female jail and stuff. What's the percentage of turnover once they get out? I mean,
I don't have an up-to-date statistic. It's high, I can tell you that.
You mean coming back?
They've done their time, they've gotten out. How long are they out?
Well, I can tell you, Johnny, they know most of us from the health department because we do a program up there. They know most of us by our first name and all our age when we come in. They're frequent flyers in and out.
There's where I think, that we, need help. I think on the female and male side, both, we need, and that's where I think the judges can help us tremendously. Shane was very excited about the fact, that we were going to put together a committee and sit and talk. And like I said, I know they're not here tonight, but I think we can get them here at our next meeting.
They want to be here, but he's still working the doctor tonight. But this is Amanda Grodman. This is our commission secretary, and she's going to take notes for us tonight. As we start throwing these ideas out, I think we need to capture them, Amanda. Just so the workhouse grant, you got digital going? Okay, so the workhouse grant, the connections to recovery, these are all things we need to put together and get in front of Judge Sexton and let him help align. And then Michelle and Bertha have all the statistics from the neonatal situation there, and the mothers and infants sober together program also. So all these programs need to have synchronization somewhere.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
I think that it would be great if we had a website that was either a part of the county website or separate with a link on the county website that has everything listed of everyone that's already doing something in the county. And then even create a hotline for the county for people who are not necessarily in jail, but just struggling with addiction that they can call directly. But just having one central place for all of this information and all the programs that are already existing.
So if we get Amanda our contact information tonight, and we can start aligning what each of us do. And just give the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, why, a little bit of happening, and get that in one place. And then ask the judge to give us some guidance, judges, to give us some guidance in the state offices. I think we could coalesce it into something that we can make good decisions on and put resources with in the future to affect the problem.
What the governor's saying, his budget this year on the...
There's $30 million. It's one-time money, but I think we've got enough nonprofits here to pick one and go after the grant for the workhouse program and whatever the other efforts are that have grant opportunities. I know the health department continues to seek out grants, and you have some regular grants, Michelle.
I might should explain a couple of the programs because a lot of the commissioners might not be aware. Judge Sexton, we started working with him through a drug court plan that we work with the probationers, that we do an educational program at the health department. We have done it in the courtroom several times when we've had a large crowd because our room only holds about 30 people. But it's an educational program that we also do in the jail. We decided a couple of years ago, we got a committee of a bunch of smart people together, nurses and different people in the health department, and we decided to stop the problem of NAS babies, which is neonatal abstinence syndrome. These are babies born drug dependent because they don't choose to be addicts. That we would go to the source of the problem, and the source of the problem are the women having babies over and over and over. So we do a jail program right now, which we've been doing in the county for 2 years, called Voluntary Reversible Long-Acting Contraception, or VERLAC. And what we do is we go in, we do an educational program with these girls. We counsel them about birth control if they would like birth control, and nobody is forced or coerced to take this birth control in any way. We treat them like any other client that would come to the health department. Then our nurse practitioner goes back, or a doctor, and we offer Nexplanon, which is good for at least 3 years, or an IUD. And we can do that in the jail because they do have a clinic room that we can utilize. Now, we have done about 60-something procedures in the last 2 years in jail. So we're talking about, you multiply 60 out by 3 years, if that's good for. If they don't have it removed, that prevents that many births. So when we do the probationers, we also do that same program that we do in the jail and offer birth control, and it's all free through the health department. It's all funded through the health department. We also, if you're not aware, have a free vasectomy program for the men at Indian Mountain Clinic that we encourage, and we've actually had probably about 3 men that have done that. So that's some of the things that we're trying to stop at its source.
And just to kind of recap a little bit, up until about 1.5 years ago, we had a Campbell County Anti-Drug Coalition, and many of you would attend, and it was an informational forum. Our health council really has that tempo of information now. We're meeting the first Tuesday of each month at the school board downstairs, and it's a very good information exchange. But the Anti-Drug Coalition goal was to achieve enough funding to actually hire somebody to drive the agenda to actually defeat different targets that we would choose in drug abuse. We applied for years. I think I chaired it in 2010. Several other people worked it really hard. We applied for grants and weren't able to achieve any, and it disbanded about 2.5 years ago. So this is kind of what we're doing, but we got to do better than that. And so I think we're kind of back to recognizing a need. Health Council does a great job of moving information, but when you put resources against problems, we have it. And so it doesn't always have to come down to money, but we're back to that concept. And there's an opportunity, there are several opportunities that are in front of us that we didn't have a couple years ago, notwithstanding the funding. Anybody else?
I like the idea the young lady had about creating a website.
Sure.
Put on the Campbell County website, give them information. I'm sure if we give a hotline, we'll get calls. There's no doubt about that. I agree with that. We have the media here that can help us. My whole thing is educate, educate, educate. That's the reason why I asked about, what's the rollover? If I've got 15 that went in and they were released from jail, those same 15, and 2 months later, I've got the same 15 coming back, is the program that we're doing, is it working? And also, how many people are overlapping? I mean, you're doing basically the same thing. One organization's doing the same thing as you guys that are overlapping. Yeah.
A lot of these women that go out, they go not just once, but it's all the way to prison and back in and start that cycle again. Over 15 years, you can see it over and over and over and have a clear picture of who it is and how many times they've done it. It's so sad.
I'm going to ask a crazy question. How do we change their environment? I think a lot of times, my mom always told me, she said, if you get in trouble, it's the company you keep.
That is a big problem. You see the women, say, graduate from the Shepherd's Home, and they have a couple of kids, and the only place they have to go is to the families who are all drug addicted, You know, they go, if they go back, so many of them say, I'm not going back to my hometown because it's too many associations. Mother is an addict, sister is an addict, brother is an addict, you know, and they're making minimum wage at McDonald's. They're almost doomed because there's no place for them to go. There's no place for them to raise their children. You know, it's, the whole support system are addicts and alcoholics.
So right there's an area that we definitely work.
Yeah, they need some sort of community where they could live and raise their children and have support.
I commend Tony Simpson with what he does. Listen, Tony's one of mine, you know, so, but hey, his heart's in the right place. And he wants, Tony's like me, wants to save them all.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think the employment is very helpful, but in between detoxification and being employed, there needs to be a program of training.
Yes.
So we have all, at one time or another, worked with the Shepherd's Home, and we have seen what a difference it makes when you have a disciplined and rigorous program. And if any of you are familiar with Rhonda Madden, who was the director of the Women's Home at one time for the Shepherd's Home, she runs a tight ship, and she has rules, and she enforces them, but she loves those women at the same time. And so that's what we believe is really a key to their success in the future. Once they get that job, then they also need ongoing support. It can't just stop there once they graduate. They need a support group around them as they continue in their life of sobriety.
in saying that once they graduate your own program and stuff, you guys not bring them back in, like say, you know, on a monthly basis, just for discussion.
Yeah, unfortunately, they go to Celebrate Recovery. We try to keep them engaged there, and that's a weekly basis. But no, there's no formal program, and that we need that. We need that.
And it's volunteer. I don't know any of the mentors who would say, okay, you graduated, we don't want to hear from you. Basically, we tell the women we want to hear from you. But, you know, the few that I've mentored, I really don't hear from, except why mentalness.
One of the things that came from our meeting this last Friday and Saturday was that they need a community around them to support that. And we haven't been real good at doing that, because they go through the program, then they wouldn't have any post-recovery follow-up and have mentors that followed, and that was something that we have put some plans together to provide for some of the women. And in partnership with Tony, because he's doing that employment piece of it that's real important.
See, there's something I think the county can come in. Guys, you know what they say, before you get married, speak up forever and ever, hold your peace. So hey, give us what you think, Dwayne.
Well, Coach, as the lady spoke a while ago about having a support group, we had a meeting about a month ago with volunteer timers. They was there, Kelly Jo Ride. And that was one thing they brought up was about support groups. A lot of people don't know where to turn to, or, you know, they have nowhere to go. And they said, you know, it'd be good to get a group of coaches, life coaches, that would help them. You just coach them along and give them, you know, inspiration and encouragement. You know, somebody to talk to. That's one thing that I would like to do, is help coach some of the too. So anyway, Lonnie, this is Lonnie Weldon. He's our county commissioner.
The thing I see, what a lot of them loses is the funding for the stability. And we need to create that somehow, some way, whether it be living quarters for them, permanent living quarters. I mean, they could go out and get this job, but if they were going back to that same house, you know, it isn't going to help them.
Right.
And I think that's when the county could probably step in and try to do their part. We may just sit down and try to create something in that line also. Like you say, if we're just helping them and then getting them back out and leaving them. I mean,
The real good part about the Shepherd's Home, it wasn't like, they were enclosed. It was gradually they had more and more liberty, and there were life skills. So before they graduated, they had an apartment. They had work, they had, but it comes a point that these are grown-ups, and some of them are able to go home to good environments. Some of them were just kids who went astray. Others learned their habits from their parents. So there is that sort of thing, and I know at one point they tried to do a monthly, let's get back together and touch base, but we should, right? And, the women didn't show up. There comes a point, a lot of them, but, through looking back over Rhonda's statistics, each year you saw more and more women succeed. I mean, it's not 90%, it's probably 40%, but more and more and more of them were succeeding, and the program was improving more and more and more. So they do need ongoing training, they do need ongoing support, they need to be weaned off of government, they need to be able to set down their own roots. For some people it's easier because they have good homes. Other people, like I said, the first woman I mentored, she had 3 kids and a whole family of addicts, and she ended up failing in her recovery this time, but she's working at McDonald's.
That's like my niece, Michelle Garner, she opened one of her homes at Shepherd's Home. And, I mean, to give them a place to live and to get back on their feet, like you say, as long as they're going back to where the problem started, it's hard to get a problem.
And then it was stated, you have some people who've been maybe healthcare workers, nurses, or whatever. Now they're felons, they can't do that anymore. Maybe they were teachers, they can't do that anymore. So then it's all the retraining. They have to find something they're passionate about doing, so they can earn a living wage.
We had some more commissioners come in, Forster and Ralph, and Whit, you introduce yourselves.
Commissioner Ralph Davis, 5th District. Thanks for having this meeting. I didn't know about it, I've been here. I'll get y'all's picture before you get up there. Go ahead.
Whit Doan, 1st District. Charles Durden, 4th District.
Mr. Baird, 5th District.
Got another question?
Sure.
Ladies, I'll wear you out with questions, I'm just telling you.
Bring it on, bring it on.
Okay.
Ask her.
Now, we said, after they graduate, we try to keep up with them, but we don't. I guess I need the judges to answer this question for me. Is there any way that the judge can say, okay, you graduated drug court, you graduated, from the Shepherd's Home and stuff, but, you're gonna have a year where you're gonna have to come back and meet on a monthly basis or bi-weekly basis,
Yeah, we can add that to their probation or extend their probation to add that to help them be successful.
Sometimes they do graduate from the program before they're actually out of drug court. So there is a period of time that they do continue to report to Judge Sexton, but then that does end. So, but I like the idea of a life coach, and just a very simple example. We have a lady that my husband and I kind of watch over and help out, and she rented an apartment, and she said to me, the burners are out on my stove, so I need another stove. And I said, well, no, you don't need another stove. You need to go to your landlord and tell him or her that the burners need replaced in your stove. Now, you or I would know that, right? She didn't know that she could do that. So that's just very basic skills that they don't even have, that we have to teach them. And that's why they need a life coach.
Now, our faith-based community has been very involved in this. And, you know, before an opioid epidemic, these kind of things we're talking about have come from the faith-based community throughout generations. They've always watched out for the poor, widows. You know, you've got some fundamentals in your faith-based community that provide some of these things too. But we're backing way up to personal hygiene issues and just simple living, awareness of the appliances in your home. Nobody ever taught them that you could change a burner unit out. And so there's a lot of stress in the lives of folks that don't have those coping and basic skills that you learned in the old home economics classes out there. That just gave you skills that you really may not have thought were terribly valuable at the time, but it's how you live your life safely and with other people. So, and that takes a lot of stress out of your life. And so it's all the education process. And I want to thank the commissioners around the table and in the room here. They have funded Campbell County Public Schools at historic highs for the first time in decades. And we're now at $300,000 above the minimum state funding level. And you know, I would hope in 4 years we're at $500,000 above it. And if we can have some economic growth, just a little bit, we don't have to raise taxes to do it if we watch our dollars closely. And those kind of skills go to that younger generation before they meet with these pitfalls. So I'm a believer in the education system, and I know these folks have been too. So we've got one 800-pound gorilla in the room, though, and that's an August 2nd election to determine which elected officials are actually going to be here for the public to work with. So I think, hey, Sheriff, come in. But
can we have Ms. Deborah Hamlin speak?
Certainly.
That's my maiden name. I agree with everybody sitting here at the table. I agree with the mentorship. I agree that if you don't do something to help them, they'll be coming right back in. I agree with everybody and all the resources that we're having. And I think it's great that you have developed this place, this forum for us to talk and for us all to meet and discuss it. But I wanted, I'm kind of, because I worked with the state government for almost a decade, so I'm used to structure. So I wanted to kind of get to this. I wanted to, with this committee, I think we probably can get to it. I'm probably jumping ahead of it. But to determine how many and who's going to be on the committee, it's going to dedicate their time, their talent, and their resources to come back to upgrade and people already are. But I was wondering if we could probably get somebody from law enforcement to be a part of this committee. And maybe, I think you said the judge was going to try to be here, Judge Sexton. And maybe even an ER doctor or a medical director from the hospital or somebody, an official from Jellicoe and Ohio Hospital. I don't want the committee to be too big, but I'm just saying that because they see what happens in ERs, what's going on, the DOAs and the drug addicts and the EMS have to give the Narcan and all that too. The school superintendent for this county, they let us know what's going on in the schools. I get that from the principals and the teachers. A pharmacist, you know, we had Marissa Price at that one meeting, a mental health representative, the coroner. I think would be helpful to have a coroner, or at least give a report to these people. And I don't know if the funeral home directors have a committee or have something they have in the county, but if we could get somebody represented from the funeral home industry here in Campbell County, because they've gone to Jellicoe and everywhere, they see the end result. They see what happens when these people pass away, these young people going before their time. and a media representative like we have here. And also the state representative, Dennis Powers, so he can help us with certain things. And any, any other bodies that are, but I'm just saying we don't need to get too big, but I feel like if we can get some input, either they maybe not be part of the committee, but bring something to it. And when I'm talking about law enforcement, I'm asking the sheriff and the McCulloch chief. Not that I think we should exclude Jacksboro or Carroll, I'm not. It's just that McCulloch has a bigger stance. I think it would be good if it was allowed, if the people on the committee would, if they were interested in it, do a ride-along with the city and the county, just to see what's on the street. Maybe we're not going to be seeing an arrest or anything, but they can let us know on the streets where these issues are, where they're seeing, or why we're not seeing it over here. What's going on so good that we're not seeing issues here? We need to determine short-term, long-term goals, interventions, involvement, and responsibilities. Who's going to have responsibilities? Again, I'm probably jumping ahead of you.
No,
And also determining the date of the month we're doing this. We need to do it every month, not quarterly. Do it every month, the date, the time, and the place of the meetings. I just feel that we need to, like she said, Crystal said, have a website to where we can all look at it and everyone in the community can look at it. Because I actually got on the state website and Michelle told me the Tennessee state website had an 800 number you could call. I could not find it. And if you Google it, it'll take you somewhere else. You'll think that you're going to get some help for your family member or for yourself, but it's probably whoever paid the most for that ad that you're going to see you're going to be directed to. So I printed off some things from SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. This is federal. It's an 800 number, and it's open 24/7. They could call any day of the year, anytime, English and Spanish. I have some, if y'all could put those out somewhere, put them in the workplace, or if they will allow it here in the courthouse. I could print some more. Talking about the hotline, somebody talked about doing the hotline. Kentucky, I pulled something off. Kentucky's doing a committee like this too. They're just kind of beginning. They started last year. Kentucky the state of Kentucky put $500,000 toward creating a phone number to get help. But that's only like Monday through Friday. So they're trying to get more funding. That's the reason if we could get Dennis Powers here, state representative, if we could get funding, or the state could do funding to do statewide, so we wouldn't have to come up with funds for the 800 number call 24/7. But they also have the same too. But I think this is great you're doing this, and I think it's great that everybody is coming here tonight and brainstorming and just seeing what we need. But you're right, we do need a detox center. We need a detox center. We've talked about that. We're kind of like in its infancy, talking about that, and then transitioning them over to intensive inpatient and intensive outpatient, and then outpatient, which is not the 28-day turnaround or the 30 or 60 days. This is something that's maybe lifelong for them, where they could come back like you would AA or NA meetings. So sometimes it's lifelong. But we need to be here to support them, and that's what we're doing. And I commend you all for coming here tonight, and I commend you for starting this commission and allowing this to happen. So, and each and every commissioner here devoting their time and your talents and your efforts for us. Because like I said, this is hit me. I had a son to die of an overdose. And of my 5 children, I've had more than one who has been affected by these drugs. By the grace of God, they're doing great now. But there are some family members that have gone through what I've gone through. Lost a child, or nearly lost a child, or they have lost a child not physically, and they've gone on, but they've lost them to their peers that are on these drugs. And the jail system is not the place, I've talked with the sheriff, the jail system is not the place for these people to be detoxing. We need to have them in a safe environment. Not that they're not safe there, but we need to have them in a medical environment, because things can happen. They can seizure. I have actually seen, I've had patients where I've worked where we didn't know they had consumed medication seizure, going to cardiac and respiratory arrest. And there are some people that have died, not in where I was at, but they have died in other areas where they were going through detox. So having that safe place, not only for the detox, but through the continuum of their care is important. Anyway, that's all I have.
Glad to take those recommendations, make sure Amanda gets those. We'll wrap all those together. And Sheriff Goins just walked in. I know we've got a retirement we're going to celebrate, but we've got an initiative with the county commission that looks similar to the Anti-Drug Coalition. Would you like to talk a little bit about what we've done in the past before when we had that organization going?
We spoke together, and I agree that it affects our medical, everything that we have in our jail system. And it's not the place for someone to come and detox, but we have to deal with that 7 days a week. Like I said, our jail costs for medical is through the roof, and I have to think that that's part of the reason why. But in the past, we have started committees and tried to get things working, but you know, talking about it and doing what you're talking about is what we actually need. There needs to be some rehabilitation somewhere for these folks to go. A lot of these people want to be rehabilitated. They have no money. They have nowhere to go. So they just get back on the street and it starts the cycle all over again. And I'll do anything I can to help to get this started because it's exactly what we need. And it'll affect people that can't get that help and don't have that support. You know, they have to have support because the addictions are a daily thing and it's the rest of their life. So anything I can do to help and be a part of it, I'll be glad to.
Thank you. Okay, so Commissioner Bruce, if you could get this to the July agenda so we can appoint the chair and the vice chair, and we'll seek a date when this body can meet with the judges.
I have a question. I know we had to do it at 5 o'clock. Would it be better if we moved the meeting to maybe 6 o'clock? Give more people an opportunity to attend? I mean, hey, I know 5 o'clock is right around supper time, so.
But we put it on tonight because we felt like commissioners were already coming for the commission meeting. We'd have a chance to get several, and we appreciate all of you that came. So we would have to shift off of that commission meeting schedule, but that's fine.
I'll be more than happy to put it on for a July meeting, but also I think that we need to get in touch with the judges to see what date that they can be here, and then make sure that we get back to every one of you and let you know, this is the time frame and so forth. I'm like E.L., hey, I appreciate every one of you. Like I said, hey, I've told them I'm ignorant to this, therefore, hey, I was calling, hey, I'll ask you questions on top of questions, I'm like that little kindergarten kid, hey, why? But, hey, we appreciate y'all being here.
Okay, we do have a regularly scheduled county commission meeting, but we're going to take a 5-minute break before we convene for it.
Lord, this is done business, Lord, in this county, Lord. We ask you, Lord, just to be with this meeting, Lord, be with every home that's represented here, dear Heavenly Father, be with the ones that's lost loved ones in our communities, dear Heavenly Father, the ones that's sick, the ones that's shut in the nursing home. Give them strength, encouragement, and comfort, dear Heavenly Father. I ask you, Lord, to be with our military that's fighting for freedom throughout the world where we can be here today, dear Heavenly Father. I ask you, Lord, just to put our trust in you, dear Lord. Forgive us for our sins and shortcomings, dear Heavenly Father. We therefore give you all the praise and honor and glory forever. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Marie Ayers. Here. Charles Baird.
Here.
Worcester Baird.
Present.
Johnny Bruce.
Here.
Ralph Davis.
Here.
Carl Douglas.
Here.
Whit Goins.
Here.
Robert Higginbotham.
Here.
Cliff Jennings.
Here.
Dwayne Kidd.
Here.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Here.
Sue Nance. Rusty Orick. Scott Stanfield.
Here.
Lonnie Weldon.
Here.
13.
13 present.
2 absent.
Okay, for our honorarium tonight, we have a retirement. So, Sheriff, bring your crew and our retirees forward. This is Sheriff's Deputy Cowboy. Sheriff, I'm going to present you with the plaque, and I'm going to read our honorarium tonight to honor retirement of this fine officer. Campbell County, Tennessee, County Mayor, and County Commissioner to Cowboy. Whereas Cowboy is a black Labrador who specializes in the detection of explosive materials, and whereas Corporal Cowboy served 2 tours in Afghanistan in the United States Marine Corps, and whereas Cowboy joined Captain Jeremy Goins in 2013 and has served with distinction and honor, and whereas Cowboy received the highest military working dog certification and continued as a Sheriff's Office Canine, holding certifications in explosive detection and tracking from IFRI Detection, United States Police Canine Association, and a National Detection Dog Certification. And whereas Cowboy is 9 years old and will retire and continue to live with Captain Goins and his family, and we now therefore acknowledge Cowboy for his service to Campbell County, the United States Marine Corps, Afghanistan, and the world. I therefore, E.L. Morton, Mayor, along with the County Commission, would like to say thank you for a job well done. Given under our hands in the county seat of Jacksboro, Tennessee, this 18th day of June 2018, E.L. Morton, Campbell County Mayor.
So we didn't think we would get that dog, so we tried, and here he is, and he's like family to us. Really, he's a unique guy. I mean, he loves everybody, wants you to pet on him, and we feed him a lot of junk down the trail. That's why he's gained weight, and me and Angie he's been good. He saved lives in Campbell County while he was here. He actually has. Jeremy.
We had 2 opportunities to track for 2 subjects that were missing. One that was insulin dependent, got lost, and we found him about a mile and a half in Forest Road, and a gentleman that taken too much medication and hit pancreas. So when he first came back to the Marine Corps, he didn't track for human scent. We taught him. They didn't detect gunpowders. We taught him to do that, and he taught me more than I'll ever know. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. Not even to speak, the floor is it.
Well, we know you have another
You want to introduce?
Yes. This is Travis Boston, Sound Control. He is trained in apprehension, detection, and tracking. He'll be Department of Patrol. The next dog is Maya. She's assigned to the school system. The school board helped us get this dog, and she is trained in tracking and drug detection for inside our schools. That's Deputy Corporal Bart handles that dog. Deputy David Wormsley handles Daisy. She was trained in tracking and human remains detection. She's the first human remains dog we've had in this area to detect that. It's the first ever school dog we own. The biggest unit we've ever had that I can remember in 16 years. So we're proud of it. We all, and they recently graduated a 5-week canine academy at Knox County Sheriff's Office, and that's the same training I went through. Yeah, so just recently graduated. So they were top dogs. All 3 top dogs in their class. Actually, my Daisy was donated, so we have no cost in her at all. So she's wide open. That's the one whining the whole time. So. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all for everything you do for us. We'll be back to blue. Thank you.
Mayor,
Mr.
before we get
Bruce?
started, I've been asked to remind you that instead of adjourning this meeting tonight, we need to recess it till the 28th, for the end of the year.
I'll look for your motion to recess tonight.
So,
Thank you. Okay. You'll indulge us just a moment, folks, while we get all the packets passed out.
Well, it looks like we're giving out the same time.
Okay. We appreciate everybody shifting upstairs. We had an air conditioner issue downstairs, so didn't feel like we want to put you through 93 degrees of county commissioner. Everything she's handed you is on the agenda. We'll move through it quickly as we can. Okay, first item on our agenda tonight is approval of previous meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
so move.
Motion by Bruce, second by Davis. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas,
Yes.
Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Wayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Here.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon,
Yes.
13 yes, 0 no.
Motion passed. Notary public application approvals, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Stanfield, second by Goins. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas,
Yes.
Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Wayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer, Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon,
Yes.
13 yes.
Motion passed. Committee reports and minutes, Building and Grounds Committee meeting. Do we have a motion? May 21st, 29th. We want to consider those as a whole. Mr. Bruce, we need to go in individual budget finance?
No.
Okay. Move on. The committee reports and minutes as a whole, I'll entertain a motion.
Repeat that, sir.
Item number 6, committee reports and minutes. I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Davis, there's second.
Second.
Second by Baird. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas,
Yes.
Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon,
Yes.
13 yes.
Motion passed. Item number 7, budget amendments and other funding resolutions. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, we want to exclude budget amendment 6-9.
Yes.
Accepting budget amendment 6-9. So this is 6-1 through 6-8.
Motion approved.
That was
I
Davis
have a
and
motion
Bruce.
and a second for 6-1 through 6-8 by Bruce and second by Davis. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas,
Yes.
Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. 6, 6:10 through 6:12. I'll entertain a motion. So moved. By Bruce. There, second?
Second.
Second by Kits. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
No.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas,
Yes.
Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
No.
Dwayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
No.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
That is 10 yes, 3 no.
10 yes, motion passed. Approval for payment of the monthly travel credit card.
So moved.
Kids,
Second.
second by Goins. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Wait just a second. Kids made the motion.
Kids and Goins, second.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas,
Yes.
Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Reports from county officials and departments. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Davis, second by Goins. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas,
Yes.
Whit Goins, Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Okay. Before we move to the next item, Mr. Marlowe's here with urgent business we need to cover. I'm going to give him the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I handed out.
Jeff, our recorder is over here, so.
Okay, I handed out a packet with an email listing 7 action items we need to take up tonight, all of which have been placed on the agenda at the workshop meeting. The first one is the approval of the inmate medical provider services contract for the jail, and that is with Quality Correctional Health Care. That item has been reviewed and approved by Sheriff Goins, Jail Administrator Eric Jones, and the FMS Committee, and stands ready for your all's approval. Mr. Coker has approved it at the legal forum. The amount of funding in the 18-19 budget will cover the cost, as it is equivalent essentially to the 17-18 contract.
We have that bid in here.
Excuse me, sir.
I mean, do we have bids?
I didn't make copies of it, like I said, the FMS Committee already reviewed and approved those. And Sheriff is here, in case y'all have any questions about the contract. It has my recommendation as well.
I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Goins, second by Davis. Any discussion? Sheriff, anything you want to bring out? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas, Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Clifford Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
Second item.
13 yes, motion passed. Next item.
Second item, Mr. Chairman, is the approval of medical insurance renewal for the upcoming 2019 January 1 anniversary date for the employees' medical insurance. Renewal is with Blue Cross Blue Shield. The rates are going up about 8% effective January 1, 2019, which equates to a 4% fiscal year increase for 17 or for 18-19 fiscal year. That amount is covered in the budget. We plan on a 9%, 4.5% effective rate for the 18-19 budget cycle. The item was approved by the Insurance and Personnel Committee at their meeting on June the 5th, and the participation insurance premium split stays at 82% county and 18% employees.
I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Douglas, second by Goins. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kitts.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Next item.
Mr. Chairman, third item is the approval of the Section 125 tax shelter deduction plan to allow certain federal deductions to be offered to employees on a pre-tax basis. Plans to be administered by Ameriflex, and Carlos Steiner is going to be the local contact representative. The plan is no cost to the county, and this also was approved by the Insurance and Personnel Committee meeting at their meeting on June the 5th and is recommended for approval by the County Commission.
Motion by Douglas, second by Goins. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kitts.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Next item.
Item 4, Mr. Chairman, is approval of the standard insurance renewals for general liability, vehicle equipment, workers' comp, et cetera, for the non-school funds of the county with local government insurance pool at an approximate rate increase of 10% from the prior year effective July 1, 2018. LGIP was the only bidder on the non-school standard insurances, and the renewal cost is within the amount budgeted for the upcoming 18-19 budget. This was also approved by the Insurance and Personnel Committee at their meeting on June 5th and is recommended for approval by the County Commission.
I'll entertain a motion. Weldon, Bruce, second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kitts.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Next item.
Item number 5, Mr. Chairman, is approval of an additional $1 million of coverage on the general liability insurance policy for the county at a cost of $15,089 with the premium and the policy to be effective July 1, 2018. This is also included in the 18-19 budget and was also approved by the Insurance Personnel Committee at their meeting on June 5th and recommended for approval by the County Commission.
I'll entertain a motion by Weldon, second by Douglas. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Preston, this is for a full year, right?
That is correct, sir.
Good.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kitts.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Next item.
Mr. Chairman, item number 6 is the approval of the Election Commission D&O practice liability renewal with Western World at no cost increase for the upcoming 18-19 year. The policy would be effective on July 1, 2018. The premium amount is $4,996, and it's included in the 18-19 budget. Also was approved by the Insurance Personnel Committee at their meeting on June the 5th and recommended for approval by the County Legislative Office.
I'll entertain a motion. Davis, second by Goins. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas. Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kitts.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Next item.
Our final item, Mr. Chairman, item 7, approval of standard insurance renewals, general liability, vehicle equipment, workers' comp, et cetera, for the school system with the Tennessee Risk Management Trust at no cost increase for the upcoming 18-19 year. Obviously, we have that in our budget for the school system budget. This item was also reviewed and approved by the Insurance Personnel Committee at their meeting on June the 5th and recommended for approval by the county commissioners.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Jennings, second by Goins. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers. Yes. Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Owens.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I leave, Mr. Chairman, Ralph's going to bring up later in the meeting an item for discussion, and I'll be bringing a budget amendment to you guys at your year-end meeting on June the 28th to cover what he's talking about, approximate cost around $3,000, okay?
Madam Clerk, you said?
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is reports from organizations receiving funding from the county. I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Stanfield,
Second.
second by Davis. Discussion.
What was the motion?
Motion to approve reports from organizations receiving funding from the county. Any other discussion?
Everybody got their paperwork in? You probably wouldn't know that, he just left, so.
Amanda?
As far as the fire departments and things go, I do not know. They've
don't know.
not contacted me anymore since.
We sent
And the other organizations, they are slowly starting to,
Well, we only had one or
Get on.
two that was late, but
right.
4 months late on their paperwork.
And we've got,
They got in?
the
Okay.
Helen Osgood now has sent theirs in. and
Okay,
it'll be
I'm good.
How's this funded? I missed the meeting now.
Funding that we're already giving to organizations. We just want reports from them.
We want to see where it's going. Great.
Yeah, that was, some of them have been months and months behind and not getting it in on time. Okay. They're all in, so I'm good.
Any other discussion?
Did we decide the fire departments to do this, how many quarterly is there? Monthly?
Yearly.
I think theirs were the annual reports is what we said was acceptable. We kept them on their regular reporting schedule, correct?
Okay, that's annual.
Yeah. Correct.
But this is all 501.
It's 501(c)s, yeah.
Any other discussion?
I'm good.
Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Owens.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Other matters, we have a request from the Public Records Commission to appoint Mary Pat Carr to replace Trulene Nash. Passed. I need a motion. Motion by Goins, do I hear a second? Second by Kits. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Owens.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Next item is a letter of acknowledgement from Local Government Property Casualty Fund regarding Campbell County versus K. Carrier Company LLC. And yes, Joe, that's for payment, court recording costs.
I sent an invoice that we had received for court reporter with $660 or thereabouts that will need to be paid.
It's a pleasure, court.
Motion approved.
Motion by Davis, do I hear a second? Second by Baird. Any Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
No.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kitts,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
That's 12 yes, 1 no.
12 yes, 1 no, motion passed. Next item is payment for mental health evaluation and treatment services, criminal defendants charged with misdemeanors only.
Can you repeat that, sir?
Payment for mental health evaluation and treatment services for criminal defendants charged with misdemeanors only. Is that a contract, Andy?
That's, if I'm remembering that correctly, that's there's a new charge on that, their fees. Not mistaken. That's all email on
Page 118.
Okay, it's page 120. Your packet is pretty. 120 through 128.
Was this considered the workshop?
Was it what?
Discussed at the workshop?
Did we put it on the agenda?
I don't remember what's, you remember? I don't, yeah.
You're gonna have to rescan it. Did not commit it to memory.
The, what's the amount of it?
Trying to find it.
This is a contract, and Andy's not even read it, so I had time to work through it.
Does it have?
Yeah, it's got a payment schedule on page 123.
This one from Jeff Felix, FDIS.
Mr. Mayor, since we're gonna adjourn, or not adjourn, and can we put this off and vote on it the 28th? Because I don't.
We could table it till the
Table it,
28th.
'cause I'm not familiar.
Is that a
with it.
motion to table?
I'm motion to table, I ain't familiar with it.
Motion by Davis to table until the 28th. And we have opportunity to research it. Second by Goins.
Mr. Chairman, I think the more appropriate action, motion would be just to defer action on it until then, rather than table it, so you won't then have to vote to take it off the table.
Okay. Is that acceptable to you, Commissioner Davis?
Yes,
To
sir.
defer it till the 28th?
Defer to the
Is
28th.
that acceptable to you, Commissioner Goins? Second. Okay.
All right.
Deferred to the 28th.
I remember going over it last week.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote on deferring, please.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Davis, Douglas. Whit Goins, Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Clifford Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kitts,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
That's 13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed to defer until the 28th. Next item I have is inmate health services contract, and I think we just approved that one.
Yes.
So it's already been through committee. And for my portion. We have a grateful waste reduction grant application for your approval. Andy, anything changed on that since last week? Which one? The waste reduction grant application. This is the same one we've done every year, right? We have met our numbers for this year. It's a pleasure to commission. Motion by Goins, do I hear a second? Second by Bruce. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers. Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas.
Yes.
Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Pitts.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Wilden.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed.
Mr. Chairman, backing up on the contract, what you all approved with the minutes and the budget reports, the contract itself needs to be approved for the benefit of the record.
Okay. Okay, then we'll back up to the other matters.
The insurance contract,
Inmate health services contract.
the last one that you had, you need to approve all of the contracts, not just the minutes.
Okay. Waste reduction grant contract.
All the contracts, not just the minutes of the meetings.
Okay. But I think that's what we just did.
Wasn't that the first amendment that Jeff gave us up?
Was that the first amendment?
I think it was.
All right, I'm sorry. You're good.
Thank you. Okay. Airbnb state law, I think that was for information. State contract with the health department. That is our annual contract, and our terms have not changed there either.
What page is that?
I'm not seeing it. Did we get you a state healthcare, or a state health department contract to conclude?
State health department contract.
Is that the contract with,
The health department?
Charles?
Yes.
Is that not the one that was approved in March?
We didn't have minutes of the approval.
Yeah.
We did?
I can get it, just double check.
You can double check for it, yeah.
So y'all can go on my pause, I'll get
Okay. Please be sure. Right, I'll come back and address that if we need to. We can move to commissioner business. For reverse order this time.
Lonnie Wilden. Scott. Cliff.
Commissioner Colmeyer.
Just
you had a
see if they
budget
had
copy.
anything. Did you have anything on the agenda?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my motion, the condition is different, the commissions get their insurance different. Here's what we tried to do. Anybody, this group has insurance from them right now, or they're gonna be election again, they're gonna work with that again. In other words, there'll be this another August, there'll be a commission again, then they've got insurance and they stay in that insurance. But anybody, for example, wasn't working this job, like for me, I hate to bother Miss Marie right here, but that, she won't be back, and if somebody from his first district wants the insurance, they want the insurance for it, no, after that, no commissions will get insurance, hospital insurance, no matter what, except for the group that keeps it will be, as long as they're here, they'll keep it until they're finished.
You can't do that. You can't.
I'm sorry, yeah.
We've not actually asked that question and gotten an answer of that particular question. What you're wanting to know here is, can you grandfather it for the people that have it, but no one else? I don't know the answer to that question.
Is that in the form of a motion?
I make a motion in that they can do it, that's fine, but if we can't, I believe they say no insurance unless they're, like a group who has it. They can stay it from them on till they want to. I can't imagine why they can't do that. They ought to be able to do that. I don't know.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
We've just never asked that question. I don't know.
I appreciate that.
Do I hear a second?
I second it, but I want to know.
Okay. Second discussion.
Is this for?
Motion by Colmeyer, second by Goins.
Is this just for commission only?
For just the commission.
Well, what about these other agencies? You go in like that.
For the school board, like in, well,
They get the insurance.
yeah, they got insurance. Last time I heard, they have 2 out of 10 people.
You just talking about the commission.
I'm just talking about commissions, then we can worry about them later.
I believe.
Okay, Commissioner Goins has the floor.
They say, when you get elected, Jeff Marvin will call you over there, they'll call you to his office, tell you you're entitled to that insurance. I know that for a fact. And that's 4 years ago, I don't know what they tell you now.
I'm not sure, yeah, that's what the
I'm
problem
not sure.
is.
Will it change or not? I ain't never had to talk to you.
Mr. Coker, do you have counsel for the body?
I would have to ask for advice on it. It's a complicated thing. There's a statute that Mr. Marlowe sent, talking about that a county official means a county clerk, clerk of the circuit court, criminal court, probate court, clerk and master of the chancery court, clerk of the general sessions court, where such general sessions court has independent clerk who serves such court, only a register of deeds, county trustee, sheriff, road commissioner elected by county legislative body, assessor of property, commissioner or commissioners, any county elected by popular vote, serving in a county having a county commission form of government. In the event of consolidation or reorganization of any such court is provided by constitutional amendments or by act of the General Assembly or both. The county official also means the clerk of any such consolidated or reorganized court. The county official also includes any person filling the position of county mayor. I'm sure y'all read the information that Mr. Marlowe sent. But, this doesn't talk about in terms of whether or not it can be grandfathered. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't want to tell you something that's wrong. I just don't know the answer to that question.
Commissioner Bruce?
Saying that, Mr. Colmar, would you hold your motion to next month? We get some verification, Joe?
Commissioner Colmeyer?
That'd be fine. Next July would be fine.
Okay, so you'll rescind your motion until July?
Yes, that'd be
Okay,
fine.
that's satisfactory with you, Commissioner Goins? Okay. Okay, so no motion. We'll revisit in July once council. That's council.
Well, you have this advice.
I'll certainly try to get advice. I'll start tomorrow. I can't promise you. I can't promise you that they'll tell me, but I think we probably will. Yes.
Okay. Motion withdrawn. Okay. Commissioner Kitts,
Mayor, T-hanger increase, but I think Mr. Higginbotham discussed that. Okay.
Is that all you had, Wayne?
That's all I have, yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Higginbotham?
Yes, sir. Last month, came out of the committee on the airport. There's a recommendation by the manager, Burt Blue, for the T-hanger increase, which is no additional cost to the county. Eventually, with the rental fees, it would eliminate county funds later on, within a few years. I don't know the exact timeline. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve. If everybody's got their information in front of them, go ahead and make a motion to approve this handout on the rental increase recommended by Berkeley.
Motion by Higginbotham, second by Jennings. Any discussion?
Want to note, Mayor, this is the first increase in 7 years, too.
I think that for the dollar figures is 225 to 255 is where it's moving to.
Correct.
Okay.
I think we'll still be cheaper lower than everybody else in the surrounding area.
I think we're still the best value in 100 miles.
Make it up, there's no increase to the county taxpayers.
Correct. Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
I didn't quite get that motion completely. What was it?
Motion was to approve the recommended increase for T-hanger rentals from 225 to 255 at no cost to Campbell County taxpayer.
Marie Ayers,
Yes.
Charles Baird,
Yes.
Forster Baird,
Yes.
Johnny Bruce,
Yes.
Ralph Davis,
Yes.
Carl Douglas, Whit Goins,
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham,
Yes.
Cliff Jennings,
Yes.
Dwayne Kids,
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer,
Yes.
Scott Stanfield,
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Commissioner Goins?
It's, while so, how can we go about making up and go come look at it? Now, he works for the state, right? He's got a boss in nicely, then, ain't he?
True.
And you said you asked him to go up there? Did you actually go up there?
I did.
I did.
Marie did.
How long has that been?
Well, we talked about this last week.
Yeah. Has it been the last year or 3 months?
The lady that came to my office said it was 3 years ago. And he done the paperwork, now this is her word, sent it to the sheriff's office. It never got served. They've got a lot to do over there. So I asked her, I said, did you offer to pay to have it served? And she said, well, no, I didn't know I could. I said, $40, $50 to get a document served. So I told Alan to get it prepared and let me know it's ready. And if she won't pay it, I will. But we can't start getting into subdivision type things. We have no authority.
Well,
So I was just offering that to her. Alan will prepare it. The people next door are going to serve it, but the lady that owns the home has passed away. So it's going to have to be served on the heirs. So I don't know how that'll play out, but it's been going on for 3 years, but nothing has been done. But supposedly she didn't know that she could actually pay and have the paperwork served. So it should be done in the next week or so.
I think it's been going on a lot longer than 3 years.
That's what she told me. I don't know.
I know it's bad. I've been there. It's bad. And something needs to be done about it.
Did you speak, man?
I didn't know you had anything on it.
Well, I don't, but I've got a little
Okay.
discussion.
Okay, well, are we done with that one?
Well,
I'll come right back to you.
Yes, sir.
I'd ask for Carl Wilson one more time. See what we can do. Like she said, pay that time. I'll be glad to help pay the time. Whatever.
Okay.
It's fine. It's to serve
We'll
the-
do a follow-up phone call tomorrow.
Paperwork then.
Okay.
And another thing, I said, it's been too long.
Take care of it.
Cheers.
Okay, Commissioner Jennings?
Yes. Y'all are aware I've got $2,500 back that I've never spent. And
I'm going to get part of the Colmeyer's group, and I got 2 veterans groups that I'm bringing to present to you. I'd like to divide it among those 3 units.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You'll just advise finance how you like that distributed.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Douglas?
We need a motion to buy
I don't think so. I mean, I've directed Walton the first year money comes, you'll buy it. Mr. Davis?
What did we just, what we come up on Cliff's, we couldn't hear you in census.
Cliff dispersed his discretionary funds from 15.
He said for some reason, I don't know, why wouldn't I be able to do that next month?
You can't, we just have to do the workshop next month.
Well, I understand that, but they told me I'd have to wait until August. Finance did.
I don't know why.
Well, probably because I headed out of here, but I'm going to bring it up at the workshop and divide it up and present it to them. Well, I'm going to do it right. Thank you.
Did you get your key? Okay. Did we get a key for the gate at Oswego for the landowner?
Not yet.
We haven't. Are you familiar with what was talking about, Joe?
I understood that somebody was gonna bring a map or some drawing by for me to look at and review. What I did was to look at the deeds, the tax maps, several of the previous deeds, and some maps that I have there in my office that aren't part of the official records, that where we have the maps of the Oswego Industrial Park that show the area that's there by the Douglas Cemetery, and other properties that are in the area. I looked at the III Coal Company deed, which has a right-of-way into it that comes off of the road there, the Macon County Road, which is a 50-foot right-of-way. It passes through a piece of property that belongs to Campbell County, but I could not see where any third party had any property that this road went through that would have a gate on it. I just don't know what that is. As far as the part that Campbell County owns, the people at III Coal Company have, which is now Mountain, it's a different company.
Right, yeah. They changed or something.
Yeah, Mountainside Coal Company, I believe. They have a right to use the right-of-way. The county would not have a right to block it. But as far as giving third parties a key to a gate, I just don't know what the gate is. What properties does it actually go across?
Dennis Potter sold it last week, and that was, in the debate of the property, discussed that we'd have to work with the county to get a key to get into the property. That's the only way into it.
There was not a survey description of that property that showed the road that went through. It didn't appear from the tax maps that the road that goes into III would go into it. It was separated. So I don't know. I just don't know.
All right, I'll get with Mr. Potter and get him to give you the map.
He didn't have a map.
You talked with him?
I did talk with him. He didn't have it.
Okay.
I've gone about as far as I could go by looking at the deeds. There is no right-of-way that goes into that property that was sold that shows that leads into that road.
Well,
so
they sold it.
Now, y'all understand, I'm sure, that tax maps are not like surveys.
Right.
They're only showing general location for property tax purposes. They don't purport to be totally accurate for boundary lines. But this property, that was sold went to and with Crooked Creek, and the road that we're talking about is on the north side of Crooked Creek. It's a different, it doesn't look like it touches it, so I don't know how it would work.
Joe, what happens if the county sells a piece of property like that and there's no right of way into it?
The county didn't sell that property. The property was sold through an estate.
Right.
That was filed in the Chancery Court. It was not property that Campbell County owned.
Right.
So the deed from an executor of an estate, it only conveys the interest the estate would have in the property. What I'm saying to you, there wasn't anything in the chain of title on that property that said anything about a right-of-way. It was just silent. So, you know, whether there's one there or not, we can't tell just by looking at a piece of paper. But what we can tell is that from the tax map, if it's right, that property does not touch this road. If it's the same road that goes into Triple I Coconut.
It's nothing to me, but I just want to find out, you know, how the law is on a piece of property like that.
Well, we could have a long discussion about whether or not there's an easement by implication, easement by usage, you know, different ways that you could get that. I got interested in it myself when I started looking at it to see, well, how do you get into this property? I couldn't find an answer to it because there just wasn't anything there that I could see. And there was nothing more that I could look at until somebody brought more information, and it may just be that there isn't any more information. We run into that kind of thing in my business all the time. It just is what it is.
You think that's what
You don't never run
I said she could realize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I, Jones here, I want to ask Tim if he'd be willing to head up he came in and spoke to us last month on bullying. And in a minute, I'm going to make a resolution that we honor Mike Ward and Jones oversee it, buying t-shirts for it'd be $3,000. We've got 12 schools, $250 per school. They buy the t-shirts, distribute them out in each school. That way it'd be spread over the whole county. And will you be willing to oversee that for us? I've got a man to take over for me, so before I make my motion, this idea was Scott Stanfield's, mine, and Mr. Bruce's. I didn't do it on my own. And I'm gonna make a motion that the money's already took care of. It's already available. Make a motion to donate $3,000, $2,500, $250 for 12 schools, which is $3,000, in honor of Mike Orrick on bullying for Campbell County Schools. That's my motion.
You also put in there that Isaac will do the design and everything.
Yes, sir.
His design.
He's gonna take over and take care of it.
Do I hear a second? Second by, motion by David, second by Bruce.
Let's just say, second by the entire commission.
Second
It was
by the
$3,000.
entire commission.
12 schools.
$2,400 total, $600 total. $2,400 total, and then a $600 total. $2,400 total plus $600.
Why is it 2,500 for school?
Was the 600 for something else? I mean, we've already did it.
Well, therefore, divide 12 schools into $3,000, and whatever it comes out, that's what we spend on each school. Jeff said 2,500 for 12 schools.
$3,000 distributed evenly across 12 schools.
12 schools for bullying, and Mike Orrick's on
Stop
it.
bullying.
And Isaac Jones going to design the shirts and take part in.
Isaac, when can you have us the design?
Do it in the morning.
Forgot about the budget.
When's the next one?
July.
Give you a month, give you a month. You don't have it, you have to have a lawyer to defend you.
Yeah, because her lawyer's pretty mean. We might need to get him a shirt.
So, you willing to do that? We're proud of you for stepping out and
Yes.
taking, and it takes a lot of courage, and I'm proud of you.
Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas. Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
That's all, sir.
Vine Street.
No, we're taking care of that next month.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Commissioner Ayers?
Yeah, I make a motion that we ask, or I guess tell the sheriff's department to limit their shooting to Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And I did ask Robbie about it. There were some people in the Indian River area. I do have a house there, but I'm never there, so I didn't even know it. But apparently in the weekends and late at night and stuff, it's getting pretty loud. So and Robbie said it was fine. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, limited on the, what do you call it? Firing range practice.
Okay. Did I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Davis.
So you said the sheriff said that it was fine by him.
Any other discussion?
You wanna see it?
I think sometimes they shoot on Saturdays too, what their balls and out of practice,
Late at night when it was, wasn't
and then night balls.
I just texted him and asked, and he said that'd be fine from last week.
it? All right.
And he was here earlier, I think it was still.
Okay, but your motion is to request he set those hours.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Okay.
9 through Friday.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yes.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas. Whit Goins.
Yes.
Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings.
Yes.
Dwayne Kidd.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, motion passed. Andy, what'd you find on health department contract?
April 16th, Health Department contract, a motion was made by Commissioner Lawrence Orrick and seconded by Commissioner Johnny Bruce to approve the agreement between the Tennessee Department of Health and Campbell County. It was passed 14-1, and one was absent.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
No.
No, recess.
I'd like to make a motion that we recess until the 28th, and I assume 6 o'clock.
Sure. Second. Second by Davis. Roll call vote, please.
Marie Ayers.
Yes.
Charles Baird.
Yeah.
Forster Baird.
Yes.
Johnny Bruce.
Yes.
Ralph Davis.
Yes.
Carl Douglas. Whit Goins. Robert Higginbotham.
Yes.
Cliff Jennings. Cliff Jennings. Cliff Jennings.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yes.
Cliff Colmeyer.
Yes.
Scott Stanfield.
Yes.
Lonnie Weldon.
Yes.
13 yes.
Okay, yes, we are recessed until June 28th at 6 p.m.
Five yes.